Welcome, pilots! In many of my past combat site video guides, you'll see me flying an assault frigate called the Ishgir. More recently, I was running Angel Cartel sites with the Retribution. For my upcoming video guides for Blood Raider and Sansha's Nation combat sites, I was faced with the choice to continue flying a Retribution, switch back to my favorite, the Ishgir, which I know from past experience is capable in Blood and Sansha sites, or try out something a little bit different. I decided to switch to the assault frigate that confused me the most, the Jaguar. My confusion stemmed primarily on how to properly fit the Jaguar. I'm rather used to armor tank ships with turrets, but the Jaguar is clearly intended to be shield tanked and uses launcher hardpoints, so it represented a bit of a paradigm shift from what I'm used to. The fit I originally posted on my website is a close-range brawler with rocket launchers. But I wanted to see if I could make the Jaguar work with light missiles, as several Blood and Sansha combat sites have long-range stasis towers that make brawling impossible. If you fit the Jaguar with 3 Tech 2 light missile launchers and 2 ballistic control systems, you only get about 90 DPS with regular missiles. Add drones to the mix and you reach about 125 DPS. If you keep a supply of Tech 2 Fury light missiles, you can bump this up to 160 DPS. I wasn't sure if this would be high enough for the more difficult combat sites. The main challenges will be the true Sansha Foreman in the Sansha-occupied mining colony, which has a beastly active armor tank, and the Blood or Sansha Vigil sites, which I suspected may be difficult for the Jaguar to survive. Against Blood Raider and Sansha NPCs, Minmatar assault frigates have a number of advantages over all other assault frigates. The most obvious is their strong resist profile against EM and thermal damage types. Couple this with the lowest signature radius and highest base speed, and the Jaguar and Wolf have the edge in terms of survivability. Blood Raiders will hit you with energy neutralizers. Since both projectile turrets and missile launchers do not use the capacitor, neither the Jaguar nor the Wolf will lose their ability to damage targets if they're capped out. The Jaguar is blessed with 5 mid-power slots, giving it the option of fitting a small capacitor battery to act as a defense against energy neutralization. Both Blood and Sansha NPCs will also hit you with tracking disruption, which affects the range and tracking speed of turrets. It has no impact on missile launchers. These factors make the Jaguar especially resilient for these sites. My working fit for the Jaguar goes back to the basics, taking advantage of its bonuses for light missiles and shield boosters. The 3 light missile launchers are complemented by 2 ballistic control systems, a missile guidance enhancer, and a hydraulic bay thrusters rig. This puts its range at well past 50 kilometers, which should let us kite enemies at full damage potential from extreme distances. I have a small shield booster and an EM shield reinforcer rig to act as a safety net for the more difficult sites. The small capacitor battery makes the fit cap stable and provides some protection against energy neutralization. This fit is extremely tight on CPU and power grid. If your fitting skills aren't maxed out yet, you could switch to the compact variations of the afterburner and capacitor battery. So let's find out how this performs in some of the more difficult Blood Raider and Sansha's Nation combat sites. The first test was going to be the DED 4 of 10 sites. The Blood 4 of 10 is the Molzata Monastery, which is a little tedious with a network of stasis towers, but easy enough to complete for any ship with long-range weapons. The Sansha 4 of 10 is the occupied mining colony, with the main challenge being the true Sansha Foreman's armor tank. At first, it appeared that the Jaguar's lower DPS with light missiles might not be enough to break its tank, but it eventually has enough of a pause in its repair cycles to finally power through. Just make sure you're not running low on missiles before running the site. The next test was the Vigil sites, where you always land within range of powerful stasis towers in the second room. It turns out the Jaguar's low signature radius and strong EM and thermal resists make these sites quite doable. The second room of the Blood Vigil is quite unique, as the nearby EM fields will repair any ship or structure you damage for a period of about 4 minutes. For the Jaguar, this makes it extremely difficult to destroy the stasis towers during that time. My strategy was to instead concentrate on the smaller destroyers while waiting out the timer. The second room of the Sansha Vigil will spawn several spider drones after you take out the initial stasis tower. Again, the Jaguar is well equipped to shrug off the incoming damage, so long as you take care of the smaller ships first. My hairiest moment actually came from the first encounter of the Medical Twilight Expedition from a Blood Watch escalation. I got rather complacent while looting the faction wreck, only to find myself being webbed and warp disrupted by a new group of elite frigates. Even with my slow reaction time, I managed to narrowly escape. So to my rather pleasant surprise, I've been able to successfully fly a Jaguar in every Blood and Sansha combat site found in high security space. Following the release of my 13-part video series detailing all high-security Angel Cartel combat sites, I'm currently in Amarr space gathering content for a similar series on Blood Raider sites. I hope to begin releasing these videos in the next few weeks. You can find similar guides on my channel for both Serpentis and Guristas. All of my EVE Online content is available in the gaming section of my website over at RileyEntertainment.com. So stay tuned to Riley Entertainment, and smash that like button if you enjoy my content.